Tonight on Saints Happy Hour, the Saints.
G'day, it's Stevic from 12 Ninja here, and look, if you like American football, you should check out Saints Happy Hour podcast. I personally know fuck all about American football, other than it's a bunch of massive blokes wearing spandex, shoulder pads and helmets, running around with throwing a football. In Australia, you don't throw footballs. You punch it or you kick it, and there's no protection. They're all naked, and there's sharks and crocodiles fired out of cannons onto the field, and we all stand around and drink blood watching it. But American football's your thing, you know what to do. Saints Happy Hour podcast. Stick it in your ear hole.
All right, everybody. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't, follow us on Twitch. And remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Smash that like button on YouTube. Also, become an annual patron at patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour and get 2 months for free. We need you people to support us. Don't drop out on us now. And if you haven't supported us before and you just listened to the free version, now is the perfect time to sign up because you need the jokes, you need the shenanigans, you need the madness as the Saints enter the dark times. We have a limited edition Boys Are Back cup as a gift for any new annual patrons at any level. And remember, we are doing the MVP contest for people who watch and donate or subscribe during the live stream. Anyone who donates any amount during the show each week gets entered into a drawing at the end of the season for Saints Happy Hour and a Smoke Monday t-shirt. And then the person who donates the most each week gets entered into our drawing to win 2 Saints game tickets for 2023. And the person who donates the most each week gets to have a 30-second video of themselves giving their Saints hot take played the following week. Thomas, do we have a video for this week?
We do have a video.
Hey!
From Saints Rabbit.
I want to say that, Thomas, you did an amazing job. People, if you were on the live stream, you saw we did the intro Drew Brees style where I faked my own death via lightning.
He's fine, guys. Don't worry.
I'm well, no, I'm not fine after watching that game last night.
You're less fine than Drew Brees.
I'm less fine. I'm drinking Love Street Blonde. Last night I was drinking everything in my house. If I'd have had hard drugs, I'd have done them. Like, I'm not even going to lie.
Kevin, what are you drinking?
Well, I just took my my
medicine, old man. Your old man.
No. I took my muscle relaxer. I got the new one, so I took that one, and so no booze tonight. Just a nice hot mug of tea.
Yeah,
just to help that go down.
I know it says on the bottle that you're not supposed to drink alcohol on that medicine, but
alcohol makes it better.
That's always seemed like a challenge.
I mean,
that's like a dare.
I would have been like
right, but the last time I did but when I took the first type of muscle relaxer, I ended up feeling numb and tingly, and I was told that was an allergic reaction.
Like you got the good stuff. You got the good stuff, Kevin.
No, I got an allergic reaction, and I had a lot of people concerned about me.
Kevin, you've never been to Bonnaroo.
I would have smashed up a Percocet and snorted it last night in the fourth quarter. I'm not even gonna lie.
All right. First of all, I'm feeling very loquacious tonight. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Second of all, Kevin, Jesus, Ralph, I am giving you and Thomas a task that you need to complete by next week, and that is figure out when you need to read your computer, the ads on your computer, or that you need to talk into the microphone. So either move the microphone to the other side, move the computer to the other side, figure it out. I don't know, but
I go because I look this way and read. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let me get into it.
I read the ads.
Yeah, Dave, it's just you, man. It's just you. That's a you problem, Dave.
Anyway, I am drinking. I'm going to show you the drink here first, and I doctored it up here. I put a little peppermint Oreo from Trader Joe's in there.
You're gonna get fat, man.
Dabbled.
Trader Joe's, huh?
Going to. So I am drinking. This is Meth Nog, Saints Happy Hour Meth Nog from Errol in Uptown. My buddy,
Errol's the best.
My new best friend. This is freaking delicious. It says on here, it's a perfect Saints blend of milk, egg, and spices, which it is. It's delicious. And because Errol is so thoughtful.
He's the
and
best.
and thinks of everything. This is like a regular eggnog. There's no alcohol in this. I actually gave some to my son. He loved it too. But he also gave me like 4 or 6 of the little bottles of some brandy, some Maker's Mark. I also put some plantation rum in there. So this is delicious. This is absolutely delicious. Thank you so much.
Speaking of Errol, stay tuned, guys.
That's right.
Later.
So listen, Kevin, the Saints, they've lost more important games in more painful ways.
This needs more meth, though.
Than Monday night 17-16 loss in Tampa to Tom Brady. But they've never lost a game in such a mind-bending, stupid way. And by the way, Dennis Allen, after the game, he is a broken man. He looks like me trying to fix the podcast audio before Thomas came along and helped us out. He doesn't have any answers or solution. He talked about the 12 men on the field penalty on offense, Dave, like it was another department and he wasn't in charge of it and he's not really responsible and you need to talk to Karen about the offense. Thomas, play that soundbite.
Karen about the offense.
That's a communication responsibility that amongst the offense, and that's got to be something that's got to be improved.
Sounds like
Kevin, it's December. It's freaking December. They improved. It sounds like it's talking about something in a preseason game.
Sounds like he's throwing Pete Carmichael under the bus there. I don't know.
Well, I just want to say that I have some good news for everybody. It was a miraculous one day recovery, but my stitches were pulled out.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Ralph's pants just got tighter.
They were pulled out right here from where Dennis Allen and the Saints ripped my goddamn guts out last night.
But look, I was on Twitter Spaces last night, and I thought we were recording that.
We were.
I thought we were going to post that.
I thought so too.
Apparently we weren't.
We were not.
So, and then I heard the post game.
That's why you make, if you're listening to Twitter Spaces, when you get the alert, you got to make sure you join us. You never know if you'll get to listen to the replay.
Well, then I heard the alert that you and the recap that you and Andrew did, and I heard that Andrew stole my joke when he called you the Dennis Allen of podcasting. That was my joke. That was my joke that he stole. He's not even here to defend himself.
That is the worst joke I've ever heard.
What I said on Twitter Spaces last night, my immediate reaction was, I said I was happy they lost this game. Why was I happy that they lost this game? Because we would have been talking tonight on this podcast, and the three of you would have been insufferable, and you would have been. You would have been like, "Oh,
why? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?"
You would have been like, "Oh, the Saints are great. This win is great." And I would have had to have been. I would have seen the forest for the trees here, and I would have been like, "This win means jack shit. This team isn't going anywhere." But no, fortunately, the Saints lost. We just ripped the Band-Aid right off. Don't give any of you idiots any false sense of hope. Let's just get this over with. Why do my
problems with aggression?
Why do my dreams and fantasies offend you, Dave? If I wanted to, it's like talking about the lottery. Like, if I win the Powerball, what I'm going to do with the money? Like, why does it offend you?
It's like grating on my nerves, this false optimism. It's like,
what? It's fun. And it would have been a fun 2 weeks. And here's the thing, Kevin. It was a weird game in a sense of I wasn't nervous at all the entire game. And I know, Dave, your boyfriend, your boyfriend forgot to get to the first down marker. We'll get to that in a minute. And I felt like a sequence of 12 horrible things had to go against the Saints in the last 5 minutes, and they all happened. But Kevin, even when they didn't get the first down, like Mark Ingram, I was like, whatever. They're gonna punt. They're just gonna kick Brady's teeth in, like they did on the Sunday night game last year. Like, they're not scoring twice. Like, this is fun. It's fine. I didn't get really uncomfortable and nervous until the PI. When they got the PI and they were able to score quick instead of having to milk the clock, then I got the squeaky bottom. And as they say in the British for soccer,
squeaky bottom.
I was like, oh Lord, this is bad.
When Was there a question? Was there a question?
There wasn't, and that's fine. There doesn't need to be a question. You had to, being a Saints fan, as long as you have Ralph, and as long as all of us have, you had to. There had to have been at least a small, minute part of your brain that was like, "Oh yeah, the Saints could definitely blow this." Like,
no, like,
yeah,
it happened eventually. It eventually happened, Dave. Like once the PI happened,
no.
I went from.
Then I don't know. We may have to take your Saints card away. When the Saints
card, I need to drug test them.
When the Saints failed to get a touchdown on the second turnover, and when they only put up their 6th point on 2 turnovers, that is when at least a little bit of doubt should have creeped in your mind. You said, "I don't know about this."
They dominate Tom Brady. You're right, Dave.
It was up to that point. It was very enjoyable. It was becoming one of those games where Tom Brady was so frustrating. Nobody gets in the head of Tom Brady like we do. It is more than I said this last night. More than the Falcons rivalry, I love that more than, and that's my favorite Saints tradition is pissing the hell out of Brady and making him.
And we blew it. We probably won't play him again because he's probably not going to be in Tampa last year. But maybe I should have been more nervous, Kevin. But I was just like the Saints. Like Tom Brady had played 12 and a half quarters at home against the Saints in Tampa, and he hadn't scored a touchdown. So I was just like, Tampa's at the 9. We're going to get the 3rd turnover. We're going to wrap this thing up. Like I wasn't nervous. Maybe I should have been. And it just went wrong in every direction. What if you had to boil it down? Do you blame? Look, we'll get to it. Do you blame Dennis Allen? Do you blame the players? Like when you had time to process it.
I blame the coaches more than I blame the players.
Ooh, interesting. Explain yourself.
What do you mean? I mean, like the 12 men in the huddle.
Oh my God!
Andy Dalton tried taking some blame for that, which look, kudos to him for doing that. And the quarterback does have some accountability, but that's on the coaches for not recognizing. Wait a minute, why are we sending a 12th guy out there?
And by the way,
why do we have so many people out there?
This stat courtesy of Nick Underhill. And the penalty. Thick Underhill. Yeah, Trevor Penning. According to the penalties database that goes back to 2009, do you know how many times Sean Payton, when he was coach of the Saints had 12 men in the huddle on offense? Do you know how many times they had that penalty, Kevin?
None.
It's going to be something ridiculous. So it's either going to be like 1.
It's none.
It's
one
none.
Or none.
It's fucking 0. Zero.
That is
like crazy. And I know that's Brees and that's, but like that is like on the debits and the credits column for Dennis Allen, Dave. Like to me, that is a huge debit.
Yeah.
Like that is
also going back to the cowardice.
Yeah,
absolute cowardice.
Well, you saw
constantly keep kicking field goals, to not push things, to not try and go for it on 4th down, especially at the end of the game when Mark Ingram ran out of bounds 1 yard short, and they made that inept play. I did hear you and Andrew say, well, maybe it was Andy Dalton checking out of the play because there was 8 men in the box at the time. And
no, it was a design pass play. It was designed. It wasn't Andy checking out of it.
Wasn't Andy. That makes it even worse. That officially makes it worse.
Callaway was the second read. Apparently, the main read was the fullback in the flat. What the?
Yeah.
God damn it, Pete!
When in doubt, throw it to the fullback in the flat.
Like not Olave, not Shaheed.
Now wait a minute. I mean,
wait a minute. Hang on. I'm not done, Dave. And then you get 4th and 1 inside their 50, and you punt the ball.
Yeah.
You punt the ball. You give it away. 4th and 1. That's the chance to dagger these guys. You got to put a stake in Tom Brady's heart.
I would have
not just pitter-pat him with field goals, which is leading it to us getting nervous about it. Hang on. Here's my stat from Jeff Asher. Dennis Allen, when facing 4th down while leading and didn't punt regardless of yards to go. With Oakland, He took 30 field goals and opted to go for it only twice. While with New Orleans, he's taken 14 field goals and opted to go for it once. Sean Payton in 2020 and 2021, keep that in mind, that's not peak Drew Brees. Sean Payton went for the field goal 34 times, but went for it on fourth down 20 times.
Yeah,
right.
And that puts Sean Payton
More
like
guts.
middle of the pack. That's like Sean Payton, like it feels super aggressive compared to Dennis Allen, which it is, but it's really kind of like middle of the pack now because people go for Dave. The other thing that I didn't like is I felt like when they were up 13-3, I feel like that was like instead of kicking that field goal, I know it was a risk because you get up, you feel like, oh, we're up 16-3. That's 2 touchdowns I have to get. But I felt like when it was 13-3, like trust your defense and roll those dice. And like Kevin says, drive the fucking the stake into Tom Brady's heart. Like I just like it was like Dennis Allen was cowardice, man.
Look, as far as the question you asked Kevin earlier or whatever, is it the players? Is it the coaches? The answer is obviously that it's both. I've struggled with this. I've thought about this. I've mulled this over. Look, at the end of the day, it's the players out there on the field, going out there on the field. If you're a doctor, you've gone to college and medical school and residency and all that stuff, and all of that prepares you to go into surgery. Well, game day is the same thing. I mean, you've practiced, you've gotten, but once you've gotten all that practice,
wait a minute, wait a minute. You saying that foot surgery I got in a guy's van might have not been a good idea?
So, I mean, it's on the players to execute. Landry should be making that catch. Olave should be making that catch. Ingram should not be going out of bounds. Caden Ellis should not be dropping interceptions.
Did you just say sexecute?
What?
That's what it sounded like to me.
like it's a Cinemax movie?
Oh my gosh. But at the same time, look, the play calling, the third down to Callaway, very questionable. The not being able to seem to get Kamara out in space is definitely
it was bad. They lost
a little maddening. I don't know. Last night early on in the game, I was kind of messing around and I was saying, look, and I've said this before, like Pete Carmichael has run and called successful offenses in the past, and so what's the difference? The difference is the players this year, and so that leads me to believe that it's not Carmichael. But at the same time, I'm watching the game, and I'm not seeing at least the attempt to make this work. Using Kamara and that kind of stuff.
I'll say with Pete Carmichael is
I have another thing. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. But I have something else to say about
he got in the last series. It's sort of. I think fans misunderstood the last series on the sack that Andy Dalton got. The Saints only had one receiver, and it was Merritt, the UDFA, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You don't have Olave on the field." But the Saints had set that play up. That was like a Sean Payton classic, being extra cute, where you're like, "We did this run formation the whole game, and you think it's going to be a run." And this dude he's only in the block like 8 plays, we're going to sneak him out and we're going to dagger you. And it just blew up in Carmichael's face. And we hate him for it. But that's one of those plays where like they kind of got aggressive, not on the fourth down, but we hate it because it blew up in their face.
I'll say this about Carmichael. I just want everybody to remember. Pete Carmichael had to be talked back.
He didn't want the job.
Into this job. So it's questionable. I think it's fair to question how much his heart is really into this.
No, he's into
after
it.
You get talked into the job, and now your team, it's late in the season now. You're really not playing for anything. I wonder. And going back to as far as you and Andrew talked about it today on the post-game podcast. What's up with Dennis Allen? Is he going to get fired? The heat is, all the way up now. The knob, the dial has been turned all the way up.
And it was weird. It was like ice cold. It was ice cold with 5 minutes to go in the game. He was locked in for another year. Up 16-3.
I'll be honest with you. I still believe that. I still think he's locked in.
Oh, he's locked in for another.
Just the way just the way the Saints operate. I don't think they're going to do a one and done deal. I think Pete Carmichael, whether he wants to be here or not, I think Pete Carmichael might be the sacrifice. They might say, we're getting rid of Pete Carmichael. That's sort of the sacrifice to the fans to say, hey, we're trying, we're doing something.
Kevin, would Pete Carmichael be like, you can't fire me? I didn't even want this goddamn job. Like Pete Carmichael, like his desk is already packed up. Like he's just ready to go.
Right. He's had cardboard boxes filled up in his office this entire time.
Where's my red sticker?
Here's the thing.
I haven't been
if
paid
they somehow decide not to get rid of Dennis Allen on Black Monday, and they only opt to fire Pete Carmichael as the sacrificial lamb, whoever they bring in as the offensive coordinator, Dennis Allen needs to have zilch, nada, no input on the offense. It needs to be a remember the Titans situation where
but I think it's that already, Kevin. I think it's that already.
Handle the defense.
You think Dennis Allen is making suggestions? I don't think he is.
I think Dennis Allen has to go to meetings and see what things are. I don't even think Dennis Allen needs to know that.
Wow. I don't think he does it now. I don't think he does it now. He said in the post game, he's like, "Yeah, I should have told him to run the ball on 3rd and 1 at the end of the game."
Again, cowardice. Just whatever it is, it's cowardice.
It's cowardice. And
where is Andrew?
Well, I don't know where Andrew is.
What is probably? It's just like the bye week. Like when is it happening? When is it coming?
Andrew doesn't know football.
He's going to San Diego to pick up the draft picks that we're supposed to get for Sean Payton.
Is he playing tennis? Is he still playing tennis?
He's probably a 60-year-old woman with 2 new hips is ground stroking him to death.
I mean, like, does it keep going until there's a winner? Or does it just end?
It's like Wimbledon. You got to win by 2 games.
It's adult tennis.
Yeah, she's probably like, I gotta beat you, Andrew. I gotta wrap this up and go watch Wapner. The defense, Dave, for 54 minutes, it was brilliant. And I thought of you during the game, actually, Dave, because I was going to text you.
What was I wearing?
You were wearing like a quarter zip and like jockey tight underwear. It was real romantic. But I thought of you and I didn't text because I cardigan. And a cardigan. I went into full panic mode the last 5 minutes. But I thought of you in this sense is, listen, we can blame Dennis Allen for being a coward, and he was. And we can blame the offense for the drops and not being aggressive and Mark Ingram going out of bounds. But I thought of you, Dave, because me and Andrew had always said, look, when their defense gets a lead, baby, that's when the pass rush is going to get unleashed. And I thought of you because I was like, I thought of it. They're up 16-3. They're going to sack Brady and they're going to wrap it up. And I'm going to make jokes at Dave's expense. I'm going to see Dave. There it was. The Saints got up on Brady 16-3 and the sack started flowing, but they didn't. It went the opposite way, Dave.
Yeah. What happened to the defense when they had that lead? They gave it up. They
had the lead. They had them backed up. They couldn't close. They couldn't get like Dave. Tampa struggles so much on 3rd and long. Literally, I think 1 sack on either of those drives it ends the game, and that's why I thought of you. The defensive line, it's over. It's completely overrated. Like they couldn't get pushed, and that Tampa line, they were missing 4 guys. It's just madness.
Yeah, pack it up.
What team did they?
Boys.
What team did they? Didn't they play a team earlier in the year where their O line was just completely wrecked?
Did the Saints? Minnesota was pretty.
Maybe
wrecked.
that's who it was.
Minnesota was wrecked, and they kind of dominate. Like they hit Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
like that's when the pass was kind of. But here's the thing:
I don't even remember playing Minnesota.
All you remember is the double doink, and that it was in.
It was like the 3rd game of the season.
That was the double doink game.
I think we need to.
By the way, it's really depressing that this season peaked Week 1. Week 1 was the peak of this season. It has been downhill ever since week 1.
I think that's my fault, Dave, because I tweeted at Atlanta. Fans. I was like, the peak of your season was when you were about to go up 3 scores on the Saints and Mariota fumbled. That's as good as your season's going to get. And I laughed at them. And it's so probably the rest of 2022, the Saints' pain is probably all my fault.
And this is also payback because we had the fail cake after that game. And now I texted you guys. Somebody made a fail cake on our behalf.
Bucks edition. Fail cake. Oh, there's Andrew.
There he is.
I'm here.
Oh my God! How good was this old lady? How good was this old
lady? Hope you lost, man. Hope you lost.
Did I miss the Tulane talk? Please tell me.
No, I saved it just for you, buddy.
Yeah.
No. We were talking about.
I was just about to bring it up. Actually, are
you guys talking about the great win from last night? Because I went to bed like they were winning by so much. I was like, I don't know. It was about maybe like 5. There was like 5 minutes and 32 seconds left, something like that. And I was like, you know what? If they get close to a first down, they're probably just going to go to the sticks and make sure they get that first down. Or, you know what, even if it's 3rd and 1, they'll probably just run the ball and keep the clock running. So it'll be fine. They'll win this. There's no way they could blow this if they just act like a regular normal team.
No. Andrew,
Kevin, are we interrupting you from something? I'm sorry. I don't know. You were busy.
You guys have delved into the possibility of Tulane talk, and I'm like, look. I'm no expert on Tulane talk, so let me just
left and right there. Are you sending some more deep picks?
By the way, Ralph, I appreciate that Rashid Shaheed and Carl Granderson are both fatheads on your wall.
And
it's a real Juge UDFA son. It's
I got your boo, Dave, Mark Ingram up there. Wait, but are you going to break up with him because he's cost the Saints 2 games now?
I am. Wait a minute.
Tampa games. He lost them single-handedly. He's responsible.
We're done. I texted him and told him to lose my number. Wait a minute. What happened to Stanley Jean Plantiste?
It got warmer. The plants are outside now. Drew leaves.
He was a bust, man.
I gotta go. This has been out for a little while. I got to go put the Metnog in the
Andrew,
fridge. Errol called me at the store after he dropped it off, and he said, look, I don't mean to sound like your mother, but you got to refrigerate that. You can't have it sitting out all day. So I got to make sure I
curdle.
I got to.
But Andrew,
when I come back, we'll talk Tulane. We'll talk.
Well, you hopped in at a good time, and I told Dave. I said, Dave, I was thinking of you because Dave had made fun of us, me and you, where we said, look, when the Saints get up a couple of scores, that's when the pass rush is really going to cook. And when the Saints were up 16-3 and they had Tom Brady backed up in his own end zone, I was like, this is where they're going to cook. They're going to sack him. They're going to wrap this thing up. And it's going to be a party. And not only did they not sack Brady, they didn't wrap it up. They folded. And
making it
I'm
rain.
just like I'm tired of people telling me this defensive line is good. Like Davenport has like half a sack. Defensive tackles are kind of meh. Like
I would say they're below meh. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm still like uncomfortable talking about this game. It still hurts.
It's raw. I told people got mad at me, Kevin, on Twitter because I said, me personally, last night was as painful as the no call. I know the no call is different because it's a Super Bowl. But here's the thing.
What are you doing?
Here's the thing.
What are you doing? Look at that. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've driven off our sons.
Here's the thing, though. I know it cost the Saints a Super Bowl, and I know that's incredibly painful. But here's the thing. Last night, to me, was the end, possibly, of Saints relevant football for a while. Like, they're not going to be on Monday Night Football for a couple of years. They might not have relevant December football for a couple of years. Jeez. It felt like an ending to me. And I know people love Super Bowls. I know it. But I love winning and relevant football and fun seasons as much as Super Bowls. And it made me really, really sad last night when it was like, last night was the freaking end of it. And I was sad. It got me more. It made me as upset as the no call. It did.
Well, you need to re-examine your priorities.
Yes.
My priorities.
That's ridiculous.
My priorities.
The fact that you had
flavored bourbon in Saints football. What do you?
The thing that to pretend that you had more hope and aspiration with a 4-8 football team than you did in the NFC Championship when we were one call away from the Super Bowl. Like, get out of here. Man.
No, it's not that. It's that.
Sober up.
But here's the thing, Andrew. After the no call, I knew they were still going to be good because they just had the 17.
Go take a cold shower. We're still going to be here. We'll do the show, and you can come back once you've done that.
I don't know.
I missed this. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know when the Saints are going to play a game this big again. And that scares me.
Ralph is trying to argue that this is as bad as the no call.
To me, it made me feel because it was an ending. And I knew after the no call, as painful as it was, I knew the Saints in 2019 and 2020 and maybe 2021, they were still going to be really good. This Saints team, this might be the biggest game they play in December until 2024. Okay. And that scared me and kept me up late last night. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of big games, your Tulane Green Wave hosted a big game.
CUSA Champions. What's that conference they're in?
In Yeoman Stadium. And
Tulane, if they don't win 9 games, they should run roughshod through that conference.
You gotta love it.
Never wrong.
Only early. You gotta love it, baby. I'll tell you what. You knew what you were talking about, Ralph. Congratulations to my boys, AAC champions. I can't believe this. I've been waiting for this since I've come to New Orleans and since 1999. So it was great.
They're gonna house you. They're going to house USC.
I think people are going to be surprised.
The quarterback for USC isn't going to play. A bunch of USC players are going to be like, we're not going to play because of the NFL draft. They're not going to care because they're not in the playoff. And this is going to be the biggest game in Tulane history. Tulane's going to go house them.
Yeah, they did great. Great.
You just got the official Ralph Malbrough prediction stink.
Nah, I'm not worried.
Condolences,
it's over,
Dave.
Party like people in the chat are just
98,
just saying I've lost my mind because I said last night hurt me as much as the no call. People are saying I lost my mind.
You have lost your mind.
That was a terrible take.
I'm just saying, man, it hurt me.
Is horrible this idea.
You'll remember that take in 2026 when they're like, this is the Saints' first Monday Night Football game since Tom Brady's miracle comeback in 2022.
Wow,
you'll remember this take.
Because that's totally going to make me feel like I did in 2018.
No, but it's going to remind you that.
You know what? The rib is on all of us. We'll all be dead by then.
You're not kidding, man.
Anyway, we interrupted the Tulane Talk. AAC champion.
We had enough Tulane Talk.
They're great. Good luck in the Cotton Bowl. I'll be there. I'm going. That's ranked number 14. By the way, it's fun to root for the best college football team in the state of Louisiana.
Same as the Saints.
It's fun to root for the best college football team in the state of Louisiana.
Andrew, how much can you blame on coaching? Because we went over it before you got here about, different things about Dennis Allen being aggressive and 12 men in the huddle and that sort of thing. How much can you blame the coaching for the last 2 drives? Because I feel like the pass interference penalty, I know you say, well, that's a player play, but I feel like you can't be put in that position. You can't give up a big play. You can't risk a pass interference. Like, that is coaching. That should not even be a possibility of that happening with Adib.
I don't think there's
single coverage.
I think if anything, when you get inside 2 minutes, that's like the least amount of coaching there is. Just because then it kind of becomes like backyard football, and it becomes about matching up, running the 2-minute drill, and just beating the guy in front of you. So I think the 2-minute drill is less coaching, more players. I will say on the final drive, Dennis Allen threw a wrinkle that was kind of shocking. At one point where he hadn't blitzed hardly the whole game, and he sends Matthew and Roby a double corner blitz, safety blitz from one side, corner from the other, but they both came from the slot to blitz from the outside. And Brady saw it come, and he got rid of the football quickly, and it was an incomplete pass. It was effective. They got him off his spot. He got rid of the ball, and they were able to get an incomplete pass out of it.
Little double G, throw the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah, so they ended up scoring anyway, but that was a big play where they got an incomplete pass, and So, I mean, I would point to that maybe as one wrinkle that Dennis Allen threw at Tom Brady that kind of caught him off guard and kind of worked. But, man, like, honestly, like, this just came down to the Saints rushed with 4. That's what they wanted to do. That's how they've been successful in the past. And they didn't get there. And the matchups with Roby and Alante Taylor and Adebo, I mean, he didn't have Lattimore. Brady was able to expose those.
If Mike Evans' dad had played Kevin, Saints win, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mike Evans' father.
I agree. I think if Lattimore is healthy and he plays in that game, I think the Saints, that would have been enough.
By the way, I want to remind people they can sub for free using Amazon Prime every month. It doesn't cost you a dime. You can support the show. You can do it every month. It's not just a one-time thing. Here's the thing, Kevin. His receivers should apologize to Andy Dalton for letting him down. And Andy Dalton should apologize to us for trying to throw a slant to Marcus Marquez Callaway. Wow. Andy Dalton.
Wow. Taking it back 6,
Ralph
7
can't
years.
say anyone's name right.
Weren't you hammered last night?
You wish, Marcus Colston.
Well, late stage Marcus Colston would have dropped that.
Colston today might improve the squad.
But Andy Dalton,
are you hammered again, or are you still just hammered from last night?
I'm just hammered from last. I just didn't stop drinking. I slept for like 90 minutes.
Hair of the dog.
I did the live shot on Channel 4 drinking bourbon.
First he goes Marcus Colston, then he goes Marquez Callaway. He doesn't even say that either name correctly.
But back to what I was saying. Andy Dalton, NFL quarterback and skateboard enthusiast, states the obvious. The Saints didn't make enough critical plays.
Dave, did you give Ralph some of your meth knock?
We did.
No.
But being good isn't good enough. There's plays in the game that you go back, and we're going to go back and see and
Tony
say,
Hawk.
if we would have just made that one, if we would have just made that one, if we would have just made that one, then the game would have been a whole lot different. In moments where you need to make a play, we have to make it.
I mean, that's beyond casual that he's wearing there. Like
in a backward hat. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel horrible for Andy Dalton.
He wanted that game so bad. He wanted that 0 for 12
You could feel that he wanted it, and I thought he played well. And like the drop that Olave had was absolutely horrible, and that was huge because at that point the Saints were up 7-3. Olave drops the ball at the 15-yard line. And because it's incomplete, then they're at the 40 instead, or 45, and they have to punt. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that was a huge drop. Landry, they're forced to settle for a field goal because he drops a touchdown pass. Now that was a tough catch, one-handed, but like he
did the hard part. He pulled it in. He pulled it in with the one hand and then got it with two.
And then Taysom Hill. I mean, my God, man, on 3rd and 17, like that's the game right there. You hold on to that ball, it's over. Like, just hold on to it. So, I mean, those 3 drops were, I mean, and this is after last week, he had 2 guys where he hit him in the face mask and they can't catch the ball in the end zone. I mean, Dalton is getting screwed by his team. He's getting
Dalton
screwed.
went 20 of 28.
He would have been 23 of 28 if they could catch easy passes.
Right, but what I'm saying is he went 20 of 28 with 1 touchdown. He had a quarterback rating of 107.6. That's more than 20 points better than Tom Brady, who had to throw the ball 54 times. Andy Dalton giving you 20 of 28 for 229 yards and a touchdown, no picks.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a perfectly acceptable outing for Andy Dalton.
Yeah, you win with those numbers if you can even remotely run the football. And for like the last 3 or 4 weeks now,
they can't.
The Saints are completely incapable of running the football.
Why is that, Andrew? Is it just a straight offensive line?
Well, I mean, I think the Rams, they have Aaron Donald and the last 2 opponents in particular, the 49ers and Bucks. I mean, it's just a matchup thing. Now, they've been very banged up front. They've been forced to start Josh Andrews and Throckmorton and trying to figure out what combination works while McCoy is out. I mean, obviously that makes things very tough.
Tiger Saint says Andy Dalton should give Isotona gloves to his receivers.
Yeah. But so they've been missing some guys up front, and they've had some tough matchups that they've lost. But yeah, I mean, they're not running the football. Like their whole offense is Andy Dalton throwing it.
Dave, is Kamara
ice the toner gloves? Is that an OJ reference? Like I'm going to kill you.
Dan
Kill you if you don't start catching these balls.
I didn't think of it that dark way. I was thinking like Dan Marino's 1987
Here's some ice
commercial.
toner gloves. These are the same ones OJ used. I'm going to kill you if you don't start catching balls.
Dave, is Kamara, is he washed? Is he disinterested? Or is he so scared not to fumble? He's just running very scared.
Well, now you didn't present another option, which a lot of people are throwing out there, which is they're blaming it on Pete Carmichael. He's not, the offense isn't being run to optimize him. He's not getting to the outside. They're not working to get him into space. And to quote Kevin from years ago, I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I mean, I think it's all of that. I really do.
He just looks like a shell of himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I told you, I almost had Thomas pull up the soundbite. What game was it? The game I went to, it was a night game. What was it? When did the Sunday night game? And they lost. And I told you, I said this team looked.
That was the Ravens, right?
Ravens Monday night, yeah.
And I said, like, the life has been sucked out of them. They are over it. And I think I stand by that. I mean, they've gotten a win, but I said I could see them not winning another game. You said that last night. After that, last night.
Well, we'll get to that. Kevin, you know who would have been good last night because the Saints were so desperate at running back, they just left injured Mark Ingram in the game. You know who would have been? Who did Tajay Spears from Tulane, or your other boo, Ladavius Murray, the guy they let go to Denver. He would have been nice to have a couple carries last night.
I would have settled for Divine Azigbo.
Oh my God. I think he's signed with the XFL.
Maybe even Abram Smith.
Aaron Stecker.
Maybe a little Tony Jones, huh, Kevin? A little Tony Jones action. By the way, congratulations on Lucas Kroll playing his first game. I want to give you your props there. I guess that officially moves you. I guess that officially moves you ahead of Ralph.
Yeah.
And you're squarely in second place. Congratulations.
Yep. I'm only trailing Secretariat by 31 lengths.
The chat is just
that means you get the second to last pick, though.
The chat is just naming random Saints running backs. Lionel Hamilton. They're just
I guess Ralph's son started a game. Didn't Ralph's son start a game?
Kid, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis Kid started.
Shahid is
you're in third place.
UDFA's Hall of Famer. Like they needed to get him the ball more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Shahid has officially passed Carl Granderson as the greatest UDFA son of all time.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be me drafting first. Right now it's Ralph second, Kevin third. Thomas, you'll draft fourth.
What?
And Dave
well, no, it's the reverse. You draft last because you win.
Man? Come on.
You win again. You won again. You draft last.
What the hell?
I was gonna try to get that on recording to get you guys to all agree with me.
Just like how the Eagles are gonna get a second overall pick this year.
The other thing that was frustrating about this game, Kevin, is as bad as Dennis Allen's decisions were. The guy on the other sideline, Todd Bowles, I think this was like a competition between two people eating paste. Like these coaches were terrible. I mean, and then Aikman has the audacity to be like, "Oh, that punt that Todd Bowles did, it's looking pretty good now." No, dude, it worked out, but he's still a freaking coward. Like
this begs the question, and people were complaining about this last night. Why are you watching the Buck Aikman broadcast when you could be watching the Peyton Eli Manning cast?
No, I'm not down with that, man.
What?
I'm out. Let's talk about that.
I enjoy that most times.
Let's talk about that for a second.
That is fucking stupid.
So as much as you hate Buck Aikman, you hate Peyton and Eli more. Is what you're saying?
No, it's not that I hate Peyton and Eli. It's that it's just bros like. They're barely talking about the game.
And the game is like a half a screen.
They have people calling in and they're talking to them about stuff and like.
I mean, yes, they do.
And they talk a little bit about the game.
For God's sake, man.
It's like you know what it's like, Dave?
That's fucking
It's like
illegal.
listening to a podcast. I would listen to Peyton and Eli do a podcast when I wasn't watching a freaking Saints game. It's way too distracting.
Here's the deal. I get that, like, sometimes they don't focus on the game. They have Robin Roberts, Dana White, Randy Moss, or whatever. But other times they are locked in on the game and they are telling you stuff that Aikman is definitely not.
They were apparently losing their minds because they were like, the Saints need to be calling timeouts.
Oh, they had
drive.
Yes,
the final drive of the game.
Yes,
to save the time.
I don't know how you could watch. It's like you guys are masochists. You hate Buck and Aikman, and yet you keep watching them.
Yeah, I gotta have the full screen on the game.
I mean, maybe I'll give it another shot, but I'm just telling you, like,
I like it. I like it, Dave. I really like it, but not during the Saints game.
Yeah,
I gotta have the regular game experience for the Saints.
Jerry says that Joe and Troy make him go to the bathroom. You know what makes Dave go to the bathroom?
Meth nog, a lot of it.
So
he got that nog in him.
That fart sound is.
Yeah, get him.
It
is appropriate.
That's summing up the LSU season.
Oh my God, LSU, Jesus, man.
No, come on, LSU's.
It's that other football team from.
They're going to crush Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. Tulane's going to lose their bowl game, and LSU will end up ahead of them.
So,
you know, it's coming, Dave.
This game for the Saints, they had a lot of the blame pie to go around, and Clown of the Week. They had so many options for this. I mean, it's for the Saints. You can go on and on and on. I thought I wanted to blame God again for the loss, but I did that before.
There's only so much the man can take.
There's only so much that I can blame on the man, right? So, but my thing, and we talked about it before, but I want to mention again, the defensive line. You're up 16-3. Tom Brady has 1st and 10 at his own 9-yard line. You're facing a defensive line of scotch tape and cardboard boxes.
Offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line. The Saints, Davenport, Jordan, Tuttle, Passanio, whoever, Granderson, they needed to close that shit out. And they came up empty, and they're clowns, and they were we got a deep defensive line, we got a bunch of guys this year. And no, dude, you got 100-year-old Cam Jordan, Davenport, who's always hurt and underperforming, and a bunch of nobodies. The defensive line for the Saints was the most overrated thing going into the year, I think, of everything, and I blame myself. I bought into it too. The defensive line, you are my clown of the week.
I'm going to go with Mark Ingram, of course. Mark Ingram, greatest back in Saints history in terms of yards gained. Had a nice career, good player. Still up, maybe has a little bit left in the tank, but
he does not. There's nothing left
or
in
not.
The tank.
And you know what, Mark Ingram, I'm done with you. I'm done.
Does
you
this
went out of bounds. You don't go out of bounds. You get that first down. Saints win the game.
Does this cost him Ring of Honor? I mean, he's getting in the Saints Hall of Fame, but does this? I
don't know.
ending?
Ask me in a couple years. We're too close to it. I need
fresh.
to remove myself from that game a little bit.
Kevin, your clown of the week.
Of the week.
You're pondering.
Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen.
I mean, that's low hanging fruit right there.
I know it's low hanging, but
come on, Kevin, you can do better than that.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can, Thomas. I don't think you can do better than Dennis Allen. That is the biggest clown of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he has sucked. Wow. They have no discipline. They have no leadership.
You know what? Maybe we are the clowns for talking ourselves into getting excited about a possible wild card race when we would have been
clown of the week.
we would have been 6-8.
No, we are clowns of the week because we have to do a podcast every single day for the patrons, which is amazing, by the way. You should become a patron. It's a $7 level. You get access to the Daily Show. $10, you get the swag box. But we do a podcast every single day, and we chose to just overlook and ignore Dennis Allen's shitty Oakland record. We never once were like, we're going to do a podcast and we're going to break down what happened in Oakland. We were just like, Oakland doesn't matter. It's just Carson Wentz, Carson Palmer's corpse, and Terrell Pryor. He could never win with Oakland. It was horrible, but nobody could win. We ignored it, and you know what? We should have done a deep dive on his Oakland time because I think it's very, very similar to his time with the Saints.
He had no quarterbacks on his roster, and we tried to pretend there were 3 or 4 if you count Book.
Oh my God, King DZ 985 says we can still win the division, guys. Stop. Even
hold on.
I think he's doing an impression of you.
Stop it. Get some help.
What's the more Saintsy outcome of the rest of the year? This is a good question. I want everybody to answer. What's the more Saintsy outcome? Crash and burn, death spiral, 4-13, or LOLs win a few games and maybe like cost Philadelphia the number 1 seed or whatever? Like, what's the more Saintsy outcome, Kevin?
I guess the Saintsiest outcome would be to win the remaining games, finish 8-9, and miss out on the playoffs by 1 game.
Yeah, that's pretty Saintsy. I mean, I was thinking in a world where they kept their first round pick, I was thinking the Saintsiest thing would be that they would lose.
Jesus, Ralph.
And then be in a position to have like the 3rd overall pick if they lost to Carolina. But they house Carolina in week 18. And then there's this cluster of teams. There's a cluster of like 8 teams that then have
they
the
pick
same
11.
record. Yeah, they jump from like 3 to 11. Like they go up 5. They go from 3 to 11.
You live with this thing, and it does this all day, every day.
Every day. I want to go.
I'm sorry, but like the cat would be dead if it lived.
Here's I'm going to tell this.
We've never seen this cat too. Like that's the crazy thing.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell.
This cat like never like jumped on your table. The cat's like
it's in like 2 rooms. It's so loud, Dave. It's 2 rooms over.
Shut up.
You think it's no? It's like 2 rooms over. I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it real quick. This is a Bengal cat, so it looks like a little like tiger, right? Right. And my wife worked a wedding, and the bride's mom was like, "Hey, we have this Bengal cat. It doesn't get along with our dog. Do you want it?" And I told my wife, I said, "I know. Look,
you got cat.
I know you love cats." I said, but there's a reason they're giving away a $3,500 cat for free.
Right.
I'm telling you, I want to go on record. You do as you want, but there's something really wrong with this cat. And
stop BSing the people in this country.
And you were right.
I was right. We love you.
Always right. No, always right. Never wrong.
Brumhead
sometimes
the
early.
cat is mad at me because it's a Panthers fan.
It is.
And I'm talking trash about the Panthers.
Wait, what were we talking about before this? Everybody went around the horn.
We were talking about the most Saintsy outcome for the rest of the year.
That's what I was going to say. I saw a tweet. Somebody tweeted and was like, you know how they've been saying this ain't your granddaddy Saints? Well, this is your granddaddy Saints. They're back. And so with that in mind, I think the most Saintsy thing to do would be just to lose every goddamn game for the rest of the season. That seems like what the old Saints would do, and they would just go 4.
I was going to say what would be really Saintsy is to lose every game except Philly.
Except Philly, and cost them the number 1 seed.
The only game they win,
Cost them the number 1 seed and like injure 2 Eagles to ruin their playoffs. But here's the question: if they go in the death spiral, how bad does it have to be, Kevin? I was thinking that it needed to be the Hazlitt 2001 special, where the Saints lost their final 4 games and got outscored 160 to 52, which if you do the math, kids, that's an average of 40 to 13. Like that's the gold standard for the Saints December death spiral, I think, as far as like ineptitude. How bad does it have to be for Black Monday to get the alert from Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport that the Saints are moving on from Dennis Allen after one season? Andrew, Kevin, go first.
I do believe it has to be them getting housed, them looking listless on both offense and defense, probably more so defense, honestly. But at this point, like so many of y'all are saying, man, that they're going to bring him back no matter what. They'll find a scapegoat. They'll fire Pete Carmichael. They'll do this. They'll do that. Part of me is prepared to go down to Airline Highway myself and plant some evidence in the medicine cabinet to implicate Dennis Allen for something.
Ooh, by the way, I did an interview with a documentary. They're doing a Bountygate documentary. They interviewed me for 5 hours on Sunday, and oh boy, they wanted me to say some inflammatory things about old Viking Gate, but I couldn't remember all the details, so I skirted away.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about this.
I mean, they flew me in, and it was like they do sports documentaries. It'll air in April or May during the NBA, before or after NBA playoff game on TNT. And they interviewed me. Yeah, they interviewed me for like 6 hours. They said they interviewed Larry. They interviewed Larry Holder, Scott Fujita,
Right?
What's that?
Jeff Duncan,
Anthony Hargrove. They're trying to get Peyton. They don't think they will. They're trying to get Greg Williams. They don't think they will. So
Sean Pamphilon.
They're doing Fujita next week.
Wow.
Yeah. They had me listen to the Greg Williams kill the head and the body will die. And I was just giggling throughout it because everything Greg Williams said they wanted to have happen on defense during that playoff game, none of it fucking happened. And they got housed by Alex Smith. And I'm just giggling throughout as they had me, they're videoing me for like B-roll. And the earphones are in my head. And I'm just laughing my ass off. And they're like, why? I'm like, because Greg Williams is giving this impassioned speech to fire up his defense and everything he asked them to do. They did none of it.
I hope they air that.
I mean, to this day, I can't get over the line. We have got to kill Frank Gore's head.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
Well, Frank Gore was coming back from a concussion. And so then he started using this metaphor, kill the head and the body will die. I want you to kill Frank Gore's head. So and then he's like, when he's at the bottom of the pile, I want you to continue to affect the head and hit the head and tap at it. And, so basically, I don't know. Anyway. But that was one of the lines.
Like you can tap at it like it's an egg or something.
Yeah, I just still can't get over that line. Like it's just so grotesque.
So, Thomas, give us a donations update. Where are we at?
Okay, first update of the day, Ralph. Mike Bagger, thanks for the Prime. Ark Mitch, thanks for the Prime. King of Card, T1 sub, and MVP leader, Tiger Saint, 700 bits.
Ooh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Kevin, it is time for the hot take of the week.
Oh, is it now? Is that what you're telling me? That we're ready for the hot take of the week?
I'm telling you.
Stalling.
Well, it is, in fact, time for this week's hottest take of the week on the Hotline, sponsored by JLD Hot Sauce and Knives. If you want award-winning hot sauces like Boot Jalokia or Reaper Med in a special reserve, go to www.jldsharpsauce.com. They also have incredible jellies such as palm and pepper. In addition, they have an incredible selection of handmade knives for cooking, hunting, and outdoor needs. Go check out the Zombie Killer Quartering Cleaver and tell me it's not the best damn quartering cleaver you ever saw in your entire life. Jerry, make me an axe. Jerry Embler is a tremendous supporter of Saints Happy Hour. So we are asking you to support the people who support Saints Happy Hour. Go to www.jldsharpsauce.com to get the best hot sauces and knives at the best prices anywhere. Again, use promo code Saints Happy Hour, that's all one word, and get 10% off. That's www.jldsharpsauce.com, promo code Saints Happy Hour.
And by the way, anybody who signs up and gets some hot sauce from Jerry in the next week, DM me the receipt and I will send you a swag box with a Saints player legend football card of your choice if I have them. So please support.
I was just get the Indian flavored sauce. I was eating that today. Very, very good.
This week's hot takes from the hotline. People were real optimistic before halftime.
Yeah, I bet they were.
And then the profanity started.
Yeah.
Thomas, describe the hotline in 3 words.
Start the profanity.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, here we go.
Going to be a lot of bleeping.
There's no bleeping. We're all adults here.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Brady being booed going into his home halftime tunnel of sadness is the best thing that's ever happened all season. This is amazing.
Big ups to Juge for calling the INT before halftime, but I still feel like shit, and I don't trust this team, so we'll see what happens, but I'm not going to be here for it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to rub one out and hit the sack.
Hey, dude, the sick. Okay, so I'm still watching the game.
Wow.
The play just happened with Cam Jordan, our fucking beloved, our fucking favorite motherfucker. He just forced the fumble on whatever guy. Anyway, my point is, never have I been so thankful for Tyrann Mathieu missing the tackle, which him missing the tackle allowed for Cam Jordan to force the fumble. So, anyway, fucking love you guys. Who dat, baby?
Well, there's 2 minutes left, and Buccaneers have the ball, and we're about to lose the game. And I think the Gale needs to fire everybody, the fucking coaches, all the fucking players, the cheerleaders, and everybody. Okay, blow it up.
Dennis Allen cannot let Mark Ingram on the plane tonight. That was an inexcusable out-of-bounds run. Just bull crap.
Yo, this is my first time ever calling in, but I love y'all so. Man, how did Dennis Allen not use one timeout? Like one. Do you not know that if they score, they're going to have 7, which is one more than you have? Like,
that's what the Mannings are saying, right?
Also, the timeout would have gave the defense a red. The possession before that, you took 31 seconds off the clock. Like, what the hell, man?
He's
like,
right.
Man, bro, I never want anyone to lose a job. But Dennis Allen, if it's not on there on Monday, bro, if he's not there for, Tuesday, if he's not fired, we need to all march down on the airline and fucking storm the building. Storm the fucking building like they stormed the Capitol. This some bullshit. Y'all show pretty cool, though, man. Have a good one.
All right.
I
At the
love
end
that
of
guy.
that Monday night fiasco, I was pissed. I was raging. I was so angry. I just wanted to punch the frickin' wall. But you know, a little while later, it occurred to me. We know what the 2022 Saints are all about. Even if they would have won against Tampa, we know that they would have just cratered the following game. So they would have completely fell apart at Atlanta. So had they won,
been a fun
they
2
were gonna
weeks,
lose. You know, we should have known all along there was no point in having hope for the 2022 Saints. They've proven time and time again that whenever they give us hope, they're just going to rip it right away. So, you know, in a way, it was a gift. We've all been freed up. We've all been given a hall pass not to give a shit anymore. So we can head into the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, without caring about Saints football until next year.
We can focus on Tulane.
Who dat? Fuck the 2022 Saints.
We should be thankful that the Saints punched us in the nuts.
That was L.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was using the call, but his sound quality was really
he just
good.
sent me the MP3. That's what I told him.
So if you become a patron, you get access to the uncensored hotline, which is almost 10 minutes long this week and twice as funny and 3 times as profane. Oh, and Adam, the radio voice from Maryland, is also in the uncensored version
Oh, okay. Wait, are we talking about the contests, the prediction contests at all this week, or is that next week?
No, that's next week.
All right, well then I gotta go to my clown of the week, and that's Ralph, because I didn't know that we could just change our picks.
We can. You could come on the Thursday show and you could change the pick like I did.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know we could just change our picks at will.
I didn't know we could change our picks either.
Yeah, even though y'all
you're on
shit
the Thursday show.
You can't change your pick for the competition though.
Then you know what? You're worse
Dave,
than
you
him
can
because
change your pick, but the wrath of the commissioner is gonna come down on you.
You're worse than him because you watched this crime happen and you didn't do anything about it.
I should have stayed with dude. My pick, my
Who said
original
I
pick
did
was
it?
my original pick.
Hey, you will see next week. You will see next week, man. You will see next
My
week if I
original
didn't
pick
do
was
anything about it.
You locked it in. I feel like that's even more egregious that you would lock it in on one side and then lock it in on the other when you change your pick.
The heart wants what the heart wants, Andrew.
Right.
The heart wants what the heart wants. Anyway, so Ralph is my clown of the week since he changed his pick and then he got bitten.
He was so close of being a genius, guys. He was so close of being a genius.
He didn't have any locks left, and he still locked it in.
I was so. If I'd have left, my original pick was dead on balls accurate, but I didn't have the. It wasn't that I didn't have the courage. By Thursday, I had talked myself into it. I was like, the Saints are going to romp Tampa Bay.
And you were almost right.
I was so close, but yet so far.
All right.
Solve your problems with aggression.
I think I know what time it is. It's not on the update, but I think we all know what time it is.
Give us an MVP update.
No.
Oh, it's Kevin Love update.
No.
Give us a Love update.
Play the graphic. Play the graphic.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a graphic now?
Yeah, we've
always had Kevin Love dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was something more. Oh, I didn't know it was. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Kevin Love update. All right.
Yeah. So last Monday, went on a date. It did not go well. The lady showed up nearly half an hour late.
Oh.
Did it go as bad as the Saints game yesterday?
You waited a half an hour?
You stayed and waited?
Sure.
Yeah. Because I'm a fucking
I think that would have been. I think that would have been the cutoff. Like if you're not there in a half an hour, I'm out of it.
No.
I'm running late.
So she didn't text. So I was like, at the 10-minute mark, I was like, look, I'm gonna wait. And then finally at 15, I texted her, and she just was very curt and was like, I'm on my way. Nothing else. Just I'm on my way. She showed up and she just said that she was running late and all this other kind of stuff. And I just was like, it would have been nice if you would have communicated that. Right. And
F her.
Just two adults who got kind of pissy at one another, but still managed to have a semi-uncomfortable drink and light dinner, and that was it.
You paid for the drink, Kevin?
I thought this was going to end in sex.
No.
Kevin, who paid for the drink?
What did you enjoy less, the Saints game or that date?
Oh, damn, Kevin.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
The date was far less enjoyable because at least with the Saints game, I could be at home. I could be on Twitter cracking jokes. I could be doing anything else. Instead,
plus it was good for most of the time.
Oh yeah,
I had to be locked in on this date.
Nothing.
So then, fast forward to this week, I was supposed to be on a date right now with
you were
going to
miss because it's Tuesday.
Yeah. We had put.
This time she gave you the courtesy of letting you know she was not going to show up.
Actually, she did. She messaged me at about 1:00 or something. No. Actually, it was this morning. I get a message on my dating app. She came to the realization that she had gotten out of a real bad relationship, and she was still whatever, and so she just didn't want to go on a date or whatever. She wrote.
She wanted to binge Gilmore Girls instead of go with you.
Translation: she hooked up with someone else.
She sent this long message to me, apologizing and all this other kind of stuff. She got
into a time machine. She saw that you were going to be wearing that sweater. She's like, I'm out.
She knew I was going to be wearing. She knew I was going to be wearing this. I told her I was going to wear a cardigan.
Pull over.
I like this cardigan.
Mistake number one.
This cardigan is nice.
It looks ribbed. for her pleasure.
All right. So wait. So there really is no update. This is it. You just went on 2 shitty dates. That's the love update.
No, he didn't even go on the
shitty
second
date.
one.
Oh,
And couldn't even go on the second one.
Well, all right.
Man,
well,
he can't.
You know how to pick them.
It can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be
Play the
gold.
violin again.
Every update can't be gold, Dave. That's what
They
makes the
can't
great
all
one
be
special.
gold.
I was getting excited. I thought we had, maybe
Tiger
somebody-
Saints says that Cardigan is at 1992. Thomas, give us an MVP update, and let's then get to the finger guns. Take it to the top.
Tiger Saints still in the lead. He subbed with tier 1 sub. Thanks, man.
Is he taking off the cardigan?
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
It looks like it looks like you're about to tell Matt Damon it's okay.
No.
It's not your fault.
Well, no, it really
not
isn't.
your fault.
But really, for Dave and
It
Juge's
is, though. It
kids,
is his fault.
for Dave and Juge's kids, I just want to let them know what's going on, kids. How's everything going?
How do you do, fellow teenagers?
How is it?
Is that Andy
What's
Dalton?
hanging?
Is that your Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, is that Andy Dalton? You're gonna say hi to Carson,
Skateboard
Henrik, and
enthusiast,
Colin?
skateboard enthusiast Andy
Andy,
Dalton.
that's
That was
right.
my favorite part of the show, Ralph.
Yeah,
Let's get a
thank
screen
you.
cap of this.
That's why people that listen to the audio only version, they're like, I don't get the joke. That's why you need to join us on the live stream every Monday night or Tuesday.
Kevin. Kevin is the greatest.
Visual performance artist.
That burnt. The fact that Juge's kids and his kids' friends love Kevin on the podcast more than Andrew, that just burnt. That
As they
burns
should.
Andrew's ass.
Well, you know what? At
So
least somebody
badly.
likes Kevin.
Yeah, do we have
I
any
got a
color
message from
reviews?
Andrew's kid, guys. A message from Andrew's kid.
Fuck you, Andre George.
Now, do we have any Cullen reviews of any of our latest? Any
hijinks?
critiques? Yeah, well, any critiques? Any notes?
He better, if he reviews us on Apple, he better give us fucking 5 stars. Like, not even. Not even.
He would give us 5 stars, and then in the notes put, "This is just for Kevin. Fuck the other guys."
You know how like
Fine, as long as we get the 5.
You know how everyone has like their guy that they irrationally hate. Like he might not even be that bad. I've got a friend, Matt Sharp. I think I've told you this. Like Dennis Allen being awful is like the greatest year of his life because he has hated Dennis Allen since minute 1 he took over as defensive coordinator.
Wow.
I mean, the Saints could be the top 5 defense, and he would still like wait for that one game where we give up a PI, and he would text me, Dennis Allen, like it's all his fault. And he's been on that train forever. So like this season has been a huge victory lap for my friend Matt Sharp.
It's like
it's like what?
It's like Nick Fairley for Dave.
Yeah, it's like Nick
right. It is.
But my son, he's got this irrational thing for Andrews Pete. So like he's consistently like, God, Pete is the worst. Like basically anytime a run play gets stuffed, it can be like to the right side, and he's like, God, Pete missed the block.
Do you ever be like, Pete didn't even play this week, buddy? And he's like, I don't care. I don't even care. I hate him.
It's all Pete's fault.
It's all people. So play take it to the top so we can get to the people's questions, Thomas.
No game to preview, and we're doing an hour and a half already.
I know, right? Well, they got to go. We got to go off the rails because the people need us to give them therapy, make it better, and we're gonna get. The more the Saints go off the rails, the more this podcast is gonna go off the rails. That's our commitment to you, the podcast listener. So, Thomas, what do we got? Questions? I hope they're good.
Yes, they are. Okay, so first question from Budrich. And he asks, Andy Dalton is like that corporate restaurant you see everywhere. Which one would you say he is after his 10th start?
That's a good one. He can't be the Cheesecake Factory because he's got the limited. He has a very limited menu. So he can't be Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, very limited menu.
And he can't be Olive Garden because he's not that terrible.
Maybe
Panera?
Nah. No, you hate Panera, don't you?
I do.
Five Guys? He's there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He can deliver if you're really hungry and you really want a hamburger and there's nothing else to eat.
You're super hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll give you a milkshake.
But he's not.
But his fries are terrible.
But he's not super expensive like Five Guys, so I don't know if that's a good match. Ozman says Waffle House. That's a good. That's interesting. Limited option.
He's definitely scattered, covered, and chunked. That's for sure.
Yeah, like Waffle House has got some great things, but you got to stick to what works. If you go like salads and stuff at Waffle House, you get into real trouble. That's Andy Dalton. Like if you get something,
I don't know if you Southern boys are familiar with Bojangles, but that's
like Carolina.
That's a good call.
No, I like Waffle House. Let's keep going with Waffle House. He's also like some Waffle Houses are good, some are bad. Like you never know what you're gonna get.
That's
but
true.
like, and when it's good, it can be really good. Like you can actually get like a really good Waffle House.
Yeah. And
it's very rare. It's very rare that you find a really good Waffle House. But
stop! No, Waffle House.
Fingers crossed. Ralph finds a very bad one when he has to.
Waffle House is
a player.
Amazing. Juwan Johnson's hurt though. He might not get to. He might not get to 40.
You get healthy soon. Come on, Juwan.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, next question. Next question comes from Down with Disease. And he asks, who are some of the most tradable players / contracts on the current Saints team that could get a good return as the teardown / rebuild really gets going?
I'm going to give you a name. He's not really super tradable in a sense of he will kind of detonate the cap a little. It's doable.
I'm not a big fish guy.
It's doable, but he would it'd be a big chunk. I think it's like $25 million of dead money. They need
a lot of dead money. What are you talking about?
Well, it's not like 40 million, you know. But here's the thing:
25.
But it's 25. But here's the thing: if they can get a first round pick for Ramczyk, they ought to do it because that dude's knee is going to explode. Dr. Thomas explained to us he's got a degenerative knee. He only practices like 1 day a week. If a team wants to give the Saints a first round pick for Ramczyk, they ought to take that and say no takebacks. Ramczyk would be my
if we traded him, why would that be dead money? Why would we?
Because you gave him that giant contract and it all comes due.
Oh.
Think about the salary cap, Dave. You have to remember, it's super easy to acquire a player, but when you trade them, that contract, all of that bonus money comes due as soon as you trade them.
But the new team acquires the base salary.
That's right. Yeah.
It typically base is low.
Easy
until later.
Especially with the Saints when you're Mickey and you're fluffing up these contracts.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Next question.
Next question comes from Saints Rabbit, the reigning MVP. Not looking good for him this week. He asks if the entire Saints fan base is on a ledge, what would you say to talk us off of it? Or do you just say jump?
Have you been listening to this podcast? I tell people to jump. I just told everybody to jump earlier today. So
I would say the silver lining is that
they're talking anybody off the ledge.
They're still in the NFC South for the foreseeable future, and there's no quarterback. Well, unless you want to count Brady, but that's not a lot. I mean, he might be done after this year. So there's no head coach or quarterback in the division that terrifies me.
And the Carolina owners under investigation, criminal investigation.
I mean, think about how everyone in the Chiefs division must feel.
Yeah.
Or how everyone has felt for the last 2 decades in the Packers division. You know, it's like you're going to lose to them twice every time you play them, and they're going to be a double-digit win team automatically, and they're going to be competing for Super Bowls and like. You know, it's like how the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills felt for 2 decades or almost 2 decades with Tom Brady in the division. So.
And I can talk people off the ledge like this. Listen, seems dark now, Kevin, right? But if the Saints go in the death spiral, right, Black Monday could be Mickey Loomis fires Dennis Allen. And then Wednesday, it could be, the Chargers are giving the Saints a first and a third to get Sean Payton, And suddenly the season's only been over for 3 days, and we're right back in the ball game. We're like, we got a first round pick. We get to take another crack at hiring another head coach. Let's go! Like you'll be right back in the game, fired up for 2023.
They keep pulling me back in.
That's
right. Right. I mean, you just got to survive the 5 weeks. Actually, Juge, I'm the one qualified to be doing it. I'm the one wearing the old man cardigan here.
Facts.
It's not your fault.
Next question.
Okay, final question of the show from Bayou Bedouin, and he asks, pretty long question. Do the Saints bring back Dennis Allen to tank 2023 season and get top pick for possibly Caleb Williams? Then, with Caleb Williams or other QB, lure Sean McVay away from LA. McVay has shown he likes playing with teams that believe draft picks are radioactive.
Well, I like this question's amazing.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting thought process, but I mean, they're not gonna bring back DA to tank in 2023. Like, are they? I don't understand this part of the question.
You would.
Are they telling DA to tank, or are they just like to bring him back because they know he's going to tank?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, you don't have to ask him to do it. It's just gonna happen.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
He doesn't know he's tanking.
Here's the thing, though. If you want
he's
Caleb
not
Williams,
on the joke, man.
If you want Caleb Williams and you are like, I want him and I want to tank the 2023 season, you're talking 1980s Saints, Kevin, like 1-15 bad. Like, or I guess it would be like 2-15. Because Caleb Williams, he's going to be the number one lock it in pick.
Doesn't he have a bad knee?
He's kind of small too. He's like 6'1". He's kind of like he reminds me of Patrick Mahomes, but like miniaturized.
Is he real 6'1" or is he Drew Brees 6'1"?
I think he's like Drew Brees. He's
really 5'11".
Yeah, he's like he's kind of smallish. Yeah. Hey, Andrew's dad asked a good question. Hand size? What's his hand size?
It doesn't matter. He does hand yoga.
So
he hangs with Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Like Sean McVay, if he leaves the Rams, he's not going to coach somewhere else. He's going to take that sweet, sweet Amazon money for a couple years, probably. Although that would be hilarious if McVay ejects like right at the Rams when they're at their nadir. At least Sean Payton.
I would love that.
I would love it too.
There would be nothing more deserving of that. All right, I'm going to try and avoid cussing here. Of that windbag owner, Enos Kroenke, and everything he absolutely deserves would be for Sean McVay to jettison as soon as things look like they're about to take the tumble down. If Aaron Donald can retire at the same time, I would love that too.
Yeah. Who do you think has Andrew? Who do you think has a bleaker future? The Saints, the Rams, or Denver? And by the way,
it might be the Saints.
None of them have a first-round pick.
Might be the Saints.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the details about all those teams. I was going to say Denver.
I feel like Russell Wilson. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but like, there's at least an outside chance he could turn it around and maybe be decent next year. Who was the other team you said besides
the
Rams?
Saints?
Oh, the Rams. I mean, they still have Stafford. Like, Stafford might have a couple more years left in him if he's healthy. So, yeah, I mean, I would say the Saints.
Oof.
They have the worst quarterback situation.
No, Denver does.
And they don't have the draft picks, and they don't have the capital to fix it.
Denver does. I think Denver. I think Russell Wilson's cooked. And I don't know that any coach can save them. They're like locked in. Like they're stuck with Russell Wilson for like 3 more years. At least the Saints, we don't have a quarterback, but at least we're not like committed to a quarterback we openly hate, and like half the team didn't show up to his birthday party. Like,
yeah, I mean,
let's ride.
Careful what you wish for, because Geno Smith looks awesome in Seattle. By the way, I kind of want to pursue him this offseason. I
did too, but they have. I looked that up today. Seattle has $55 million in cap space. They can franchise Geno and keep him if they want.
Yeah. So I mean, Russell should have stayed. Like, careful what you wish for, man. Like, you should have stayed in Seattle. He would have had a better deal. He still would have had DK Metcalf. You know.
I wonder if Sean Payton had stayed and the Saints had gotten Russell. I wonder if he'd be as cooked as he is in Denver.
We'll never know.
He went from let Russell cook to Russell is cooked in like blink of an eye.
Yeah, he's done.
He got a fork in the back. Tiger Saint says Seattle has $55 million.
Let Russ cook. All right. Well, he's done now.
So yeah, this wraps it up, guys. And look, I know the game Monday was awful. Yeah. But listen, I'm going to make another pitch for people in the live stream. Probably are most of y'all are all patrons.
I thought we had a video to play of our guy.
Oh yeah, we got Thomas, play the video.
A video and the new MVP also. So which one you want first?
Read the rundown. Come on.
Do the
new MVP.
The new MVP first.
The new MVP is Tiger Saints again.
Nice.
And video from former MVP Saints Rabbit. Let's see it.
Ahoy, Saints Happy Hour. I have 30 seconds to insult Dave. Let's see. Recently, Dave, you mentioned that you learned on that instrument that was mentioned called a glockenspiel.
Yeah.
I would look it up, but I can't even spell it. But what my question to you is, what kind of bougie-ass school did you grow up in? Because, now granted it is Louisiana, but the most exotic thing we had was a xylophone. So... my question is, how bougie were you at an early age to be on such an exotic instrument? And if someone can get the bougeometer ready, because Dave's about to send it.
Ooh, that's a good thing. The
Cheers.
bougeometer.
Love you guys. True that.
I need that. Thomas, get to work on that. Make that a prize.
I think we have a winner in the bougie competition.
I actually will allow me to respond
you
to this.
have vaulted far ahead of me.
Allow me to respond to this. First of all, glockenspiel, I don't know, I would have to look it up, but a glockenspiel pretty much is a xylophone. It's like just a different name. It's like the real, it's pretty much the same thing. And second of all, I never even practiced. I was terrible at it.
I think it's worse that it's the same instrument, but you call it by the fancy.
That's what it's called. That's what I was playing. That's what they told me that I was playing. Glockenspiel.
He probably says it just like that. Oh, what instrument do you play? Oh, actually, I play the glockenspiel.
I play the bratwurst.
But look, Saints Rabbit does have a point. So I did go. I went to a grade school. It was called Sacred Heart Seminary. This was grade school. This is 1st to 5th. I went to a grade school called Sacred Heart Seminary.
Right?
No, this was on Long Island. This is Hempstead, New York. Hempstead, New York. And there were 13 kids in my grade, my whole grade, just one class. By comparison, like my son and my son goes to a very nice school in a small school, and he's got like 40 kids in his grade. So I went to an even smaller school, and we used to, I don't know, it was this, we had all these different learning tools like that. I'm not going to go into detail on what they were, but it was a little bit, it wasn't Montessori. This wasn't a Montessori school, but it was kind of forward thinking, I guess, in the whole
What did they make you do with these tools, Dave?
No, I'm very blessed, very lucky to have had this wonderful education. But yeah, I mean, there were only 13 kids. So you had like, hold on, I'll get to your question, Kevin. But you had like 6 boys and 7 girls. So like, if you were having a birthday party and you were having like a
pretty good odds.
Well, no, but if you were having a sleepover, like if you had to invite like every boy from your, like you couldn't invite 4 of the boys from your class and then not invite 2 of the other boys. Like it was that kind of deal. Like everybody.
What if Kevin was the 8th? Would you leave him out?
No, because we had a kid like that, and ideally I would have, but my mother and father wouldn't let me. All right, Kevin, what's your question?
To closet chum.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main difference between a xylophone and a glockenspiel is that a glockenspiel has metal plates or tubes instead of wooden bars. This makes the glockenspiel a metallophone instrument. Another difference is that the glockenspiel is smaller and is higher pitched, which means that its range is basically limited to higher notes.
You can barely hear me when everybody else is playing, with over the drums and the trumpets and the saxophones. Like you couldn't hear a freaking ding, 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 ding.
Dave seems like more of a metal bat guy than a wooden bat guy. Like if he was picking a softball league, he's like, you can hit it further with the metal bat. You seem like you're more of a metal guy.
I want to hear a ping.
Yeah.
I picked it because I played piano and that wasn't an option in the band. So this was.
Can you still play piano? Could you play?
No,
I don't.
Is there
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
It has metal keys.
No. I played piano for 2 years and I quit. My wife is an incredible piano player who can cite music. My son is becoming a very good piano player. I'm very impressed with how good he's gotten. So
next Mozart.
I play guitar. I can play guitar.
All right, we have a band.
You can?
I taught myself in college, Justin. Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
I don't think you can, man.
You don't think that I can play guitar? Oh, that's right.
We're gonna have a guitar.
No, don't play it. No, he wants to play the song, the Drew Brees song. No, the Drew Brees song.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
Why don't
we go out on that? Well, that'll be our outro music. There we go. Good night, guys. Love you.
It's your worst decision bracket.
To this day, Ralph, I don't know how you did it to deteriorate the quality that they've sent you. That's the mystery, man.
We forgot to mention completely Drew Brees faking his own death with the lightning strike.
Somebody explain that to me. So that was totally fake?
It was totally fake. It was totally fake.
It was a stunt.
I thought lightning just struck near him.
He upset the National Association of Lightning Strike Victims or something.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
they were serious.
They were mad.
Effing kidding me.
They were
the
mad
National Association of Lightning Strike Victims.
They were mad at him. Well, people get hit. People get hit by lightning, man.
I've heard it all. I've heard it all. It's a group for everybody.
I mean, Brees associates with Yahoo Finance. He does that whole thing about the anthem, and then he does the Bible thing that's like a right-wing organization and all that, and upsets a bunch of people. But this is the thing they're really pissed at.
Yeah,
this is the thing that offends them.
Right. The Drew Brees bad decision bracket. I predict we're going to be doing that again, and it's going to have a whole new side of the bracket.
Like a post football bracket.
Wait a minute. How many people could be in a lightning strike survivors club?
I don't know. They had a press release and everything, Dave. So they clearly have like a PR.
I hope they carried the same energy for the movie The Great Outdoors, and and anytime there's another movie or pop culture reference with the lightning strike. Like, here's the thing: we were all making fun of Drew Brees, we were all making fun of the stupid betting app, and then you guys come in here with the that's very, you shouldn't.
Offended.
Did you know that every 3 hours, it's 27 minutes and 15 seconds, there's a lightning strike,
killed on the golf
there's a human being, and there could be a baby present with some aluminum foil, and it could be real bad. Listen, we're all human
by
beings
lightning.
here.
You should just be happy to be alive.
We're all pointing and laughing at Drew Brees and the dumbass gambling people. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at how dumb they are, and we're making fun of them. But then you come in and you're like, oh, that was poor. Look, we got it. We're taking care of it.
Would you
We're
rather
taking care of it for you? You coming in here ruins the whole mojo. Let us handle it.
Would you rather get struck by lightning or have to watch the Saints-Bucks game again?
Struck by lightning. Finally.
Well, no, he said the date was worse than that. So now it's, would you rather get struck by lightning or go on that date you went on last night?
Yeah, same girl. Run it back.
I mean, on the plus side, I did have a nice bit of Lagavulin.
What?
Ooh, that was
whiskey.
Kind of bougie.
Yeah, where's that on the bougeometer?
Is that the Parks and Rec?
Whiskey.
No.
How's that muscle relaxer treating you, buddy?
I mean, I feel fine. Like my ribs and my back feel pretty good.
Pretty.
I mean, it does make me a little tired.
Tiger Saint says 90% of lightning strike victims survive. So, like,
why do you need a support group?
I don't know.
Aren't those better odds than
it seems like lightning's really not that big of a threat.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably like and the other 10% get superpowers. So, like, it's not bad at all.
Hey, maybe it'll give him superpowers. He can come back and play.
Maybe. I would.
We shouldn't be talking about this. We're going to get canceled by those lightning strike people.
lightning strike survivors. The lightning strike people. Do they monitor the Twitch? So
they're already sending the tickets.
So, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you stuck to the end. We went 97 minutes after a brutal Saints loss. Just consider it therapy. Like, we're here for you. You're going to need us more. Become a freaking patron. Support the show. We need all the support we can get so we can keep this fun ship rolling. Thanks to Andrew for showing up late. Thanks to Dave, Kevin, Thomas running the show back in Poland, doing an amazing freaking job. You should join us on the live stream to see his work every week. Guys, if you're going to support a Saints podcast, you ought to support the one that wins freaking awards. That's all I'm saying. So, until next week, until 2 weeks, because the Saints ain't playing next week, thank God.
We're not doing a podcast?
Yeah, we are. So, until next week, the bar is closed.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.